so easy to give up on yourself rather than push yourself. And if I could be honest, I gave up on myself these last few months. I know that might sound shocking coming from me, but the thing about being an entrepreneur is we tell ourselves to never show any evidence that we cannot make it. I am Nara, founder and CEO of Simply Complete Enterprises, LLC, where we take the hard work out your passion. Simply Complete is a public relations firm that provides a full PR experience to our clients. We offer additional services such as business services, entity formation, assistant services, notary workshops, infographics, research tools, and more. For more information on Simply Complete, visit simplycompleteonline.com. I do these chit chats for every type of CEO. There will always be a topic you or your colleagues can relate to. We are unfiltered, out the box, and have meaningful conversations in a relaxed business setting. Honestly, I do not know where to start. So much has happened since my last episode. Divorced, finding love, having my business almost destroyed by an ex-client, cutting off toxic family members, and learning about new life. Plus, so much more has happened. I will be the first person to say that getting married and divorced all in a year was the most humiliating thing of my life. It broke my spirit and confidence as a woman. To fail at something you put your all in can be very devastating. I went through several phases during this divorce. It was the wanting to save face phase because I thought that if I pretended to be happy, then it would be the best thing for my brands. I was literally going to stay in the marriage just to say to others, you can have it all. I wanted to be the example of being able to be a wife, mother, and have a career with balance. But then the abuse went from just affecting me to affecting my daughter. At that moment, the only thing I worried about was protecting her. When I announced I was getting a divorce, it was a hard pill to swallow. And my ex-husband did not make it easy for me. He did everything he could to manipulate the heartbreak. So I did something I never thought I would do. I humiliated myself and posted one of our recorded calls. See, I needed the world to see his true colors, and if that meant destroying everything I worked for, then it was a risk I was willing to take. Now, did I lose a few clients? Of course I did. But the feeling of knowing that recording may have been the wake-up call for someone else to leave an abusive relationship and clearing my character was way more important to me. At that moment, I realized that I was not a failure or weak for walking away from my marriage. The whole divorce process was a roller coaster. People I loved were threatened, family turned on me, and I was made out to be the opposite of the person I am while we were in court. I even received a CPS case that actually helped me with winning full custody and granted the divorce. We'll talk about those false accusations a bit later, though, y'all. There is an old saying that the easiest way to get over someone is to get under someone else. If I can be frank, I used to think that saying was only referring to having sex, but I was wrong. So remember when I said I lost clients? I know y'all remember because I literally just said it. Well, I gained quite a few along the way. One particular became more than a client. So I know y'all like, Nara, no you did not just mix business with personal. Yes, y'all. Nara mixed business with personal. So there was this guy that I knew for a while, and I was asked to come on board to handle their accounts and business taxes. From there, we became very close, started other ventures together, and he relocated here for me. Y'all always get choked up when I say relocated because I used to always hear people talking about you'll know if a man is really for you if they will literally pick up their life and just move somewhere with you. Y'all, they are not lying. Yes, I said it. That man definitely flew here and relocated for me. So that was a big deal. I was absolutely not looking for love, but this man came into my life, treated my daughter as his own, and we fell in love. I would never forget the day the CPS worker told us both we had cases reported on us. So to hear that now, man, not only is my baggage affecting me and my daughter, it's also affecting someone that just came into my life. But with all of that fear of thinking that he was going to just, up and leave and say, I can't do this, because honestly, that's what my ex-husband wanted to happen, it was the total opposite. And I was very surprised because this man stayed and he stood by me during the worst times of my life. And yes, I said times because we have been through a lot, like a lot, okay? Like, I would probably need more than one episode if I just literally broke down all of the things that have been thrown towards us. But y'all, I had never been with a man that supported my goals. He goes to every event with me, stays late at the office with me, takes our daughter to do stuff while I'm swamped with work and more. He may not be Royalty's biological father, but can't nobody say she is not his. And he reminds me every day that I am not in this by myself no more. I was asked by a colleague, would I ever get married again? My marriage never really felt like a marriage, but this relationship does. I have no clue what the future holds, but as an entrepreneur, one thing I could tell you is that if you fail at something and try again, you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. That applies to business and personal. I was able to love again because I worked hard to find myself and continued to work on me. But the part that sucks is that I still drown myself in business because that has been my coping mechanism for years. So even though on the outside I continued to get business done, I was losing my desire to be an entrepreneur in the inside. Now that's when it gets a little crazy because you're like, okay, how can you lose your desire of something that you absolutely love? It's possible because we let everything else cloud our judgment that absolutely has nothing to do with business, but it still ties into what makes you an entrepreneur. So over these last 10 months, I've taken trips that's helped me decompress and just regroup and just clear my head, which is always important. If you are going to be any type of CEO, you have to take that time for that self-care. The trips are great, but my first getaway was enjoyable and included a little bit of a nightmare. The trip was great. I can say that over and over again. It was not the trip that made it a nightmare. It was what happened during the trip that had me livid. This was the trip that I realized I had been too lenient with clients. There was a lady that gave me a sob story about being a single mother and trying to start a business. Due to my own issues going on and my vulnerability, I allowed the woman to get close enough to find out how to access my business back in. The entire week I was gone, I did not know that my site and other sites I had built were all down. This woman pretended to be me and tried to destroy my business and reputation. Y'all, now that sucks when you literally, want to help someone, want to see them grow. You feel like, wow, I totally know what it feels like to be at that point as a single mother and wanting to continue to be an entrepreneur. Y'all, that woman played the hell out of me, okay? So at that moment, I knew that getting divorced was not the most devastating thing I had encountered. At that moment, I knew I was in love with being an entrepreneur, but not quite sure how to bounce back. Thank God I knew what steps to take, and after months of using a similar domain for Simply Complete, I was able to get my site back and upgraded services. Legal action was taken, and I'm sure doors still open when that one closed. See, y'all, what we got to understand is things are going to happen, and we never will expect them when they do. I could have truly crumbled after this incident, but instead I used the time to restructure, refocus, and execute. No matter what you go through, always remember to fight for what you are truly in love with. And for an entrepreneur, it's our brands and businesses after our immediate families. Whew, y'all. It has been some happy, angry, disappointed, and trying times these last 10 months. I tried to hold on to my family because I wanted to know people supported my decision. I knew right then and there that all the work I did with my life coach to upgrade me and help with my growth was slipping away. I was becoming a pushover again. The straw that broke the camel's back is when me and one of my sisters got into a huge argument. Now, like usually, she tried to say it was because of my love life and threatened to ruin me. Sad part is that she almost did. My sister helped my ex-husband call Child Protective Services on me. I was devastated. It's one thing to hurt me, but my child is completely off limits. Due to legal matters, I cannot speak much on the situation, but I can tell you that entrepreneurs go hard at everything we do. I did not have to seek revenge because the guilty parties dug a hole for themselves. I was asked if I would ever speak to my sister again, and my answer is no. Life is too short to continue to give individuals access to hurt you. As a mother, it is my job to protect my daughter. So if that means cutting off everyone and everything that ever affected her well-being, that is what I'm going to do. Now, I understand what people say is only a journey when you finally get your house in order. I would have to say it's more than just a journey. It's a lonely journey because you have to cut off people that mean you no good to elevate yourself. Y'all, even with all that going on, I still found the way to put on a brave face and be the CEO everyone knows me as. But deep inside, I was a hot mess, okay? My coping mechanism, okay, y'all? Once again, we are going to say it. My coping mechanism, and I do this quite often, is to drown myself into work and projects. I will take way too much on to avoid dealing with things that truly affect me and the people around me. I have been this way since I was a child. It is not healthy, and I do plan to do something about it. That is where it's so important, you all, to no matter what you are going through, if you feel like you need to talk to somebody, if you need to get you a life coach, whatever it may take, it is nothing wrong with holding yourself accountable for making sure that you are the best version of yourself. So, y'all, here I am trying to still hold my head up while walking through humiliation. And I was dreading my wedding anniversary, okay? But thank God I had an amazing weekend that completely took my mind off of it. That evening, also, I took a pregnancy test and was so happy to see those 2 pink lines. Mr. Fortune and I were able to finally say we will be bringing new life into this world together and was happy about it. It's a wonderful feeling to carry the seed of a man you are in love with. I told everyone because finally it was some good news to share. Whew. Unfortunately, we miscarried. At that moment, I did not want to live. I lost my courage to fight. I was convinced that I didn't deserve to be happy because of the things that happened in my past. But the only person that made me fight through the darkest moments was royalty. I know that she needs me and I need her. It's my job once again to protect her and make sure she is happy, loved, and always taken care of. I thank God for my village because they have stepped up and showed out through all of this, y'all. Okay? Losing a baby made me realize that I cannot give up. It also made me realize that there is no perfect entrepreneur. We have to break the norm that to own a brand or business, you have to basically be a robot. We all go through things and fall sometimes. But what is important is how we put the pieces back together. Even with a broken heart, humiliation, leaving toxic situations, understanding what love feels like, and believe me, love does not hurt, so get that out y'all mentals too, and so much more. I know that I love being an entrepreneur. I felt it was important to show vulnerability and that I am human to you all in this episode. I also owed you all an explanation for me going MIA. CEO life is not for the weak, but it's okay to go through things. We are not weak for being human. We are not weak for having a passion for something. And empathy is not a bad thing at all. Even when I wanted to give up, business still grew because of the integrity I had already put into my brand. My relationship is stronger. My faith is out of this world. I'm still a dope-ass mother to royalty. New ventures are in the works, and we are going to continue to try for another baby. Everything that was meant to break me only revamped my power as a woman, mother, spouse. Yes, I said spouse because, baby, this man treats me like a wife. Entrepreneur, influencer, and overall Nara. I hope this very vulnerable chit chat did you some good and reminded you to never give up. You started a business for a reason. I have so many chit chats to share with you all. I'm back and better than ever. My goal when Chit Chat with Nara was created was to give entrepreneurs a space to be free, unapologetic, unfiltered, and open to discuss the topics we usually do not talk about as CEOs. Well, I have to be an example of what I'm preaching, okay? So as always, you can follow me on all social media platforms by searching Nara and Simply Complete through Simply Complete PR. And remember, people are going to talk, so give them a reason to mimic your dope.